It's the #1 rated Paulie Tony FUSCO Show.
Yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
You know, we come into the show today, unfortunately, on a bum note, a down note, if you will.
Yeah.
You know,
Horrible
we're not going to
news.
sugarcoat things. We're going to let you behind the curtain, people. You know, unlike on, ESPN there with their high gloss and their HD makeup and their outside the lines BS.
They're
all
the
that.
worst.
No, you know, we take you inside, behind the ropes, behind the curtain to show you how the sausage gets made, don't we, Tony?
Yeah, we give you an education on this show.
Yeah, you know, like last week, we had a bit of a, I guess, technical issue, you would say, with Michael Lombardi's brain.
Oh, don't remind me.
Former NFL GM Michael Lombardi, who apparently didn't know that he was supposed to be on video for a show that has millions of viewers. Somehow he forgot that detail.
Yeah, he didn't know how to read camera on and push the button.
Yeah. And then, you know, we thought that was going to be the worst disaster, but no. Then, we had Nick Foles booked as usual, but unfortunately, he had to cancel due to being in traction in the hospital. So,
Totally understandable. Can't blame him for that.
Yep. So we turned to what we thought would be the next best thing. Another Eagles quarterback, Donovan McNabb. Who
Makes total sense.
Agree.
Yeah.
He did agree, Tony, to be on the show, and he said he could record at the time of Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, we do not record the show on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
No, we don't.
But, given that this was Donovan McNabb, a Super Bowl hero almost,
Yeah, we were going to make an exception, an accommodation.
Yeah, you make an accommodation. We're professionals. That's what we do in the business.
That's what we do.
And we agreed to do what they call in the business a pre-tape. Now, you people at home, you may not know this. Here's some inside baseball people.
Yeah.
More education. Most of these quote-unquote live interviews you'll see on ESPN, they're not live at all. They're actually taped hours before the show. When they say, hey, we're going to go to Buffalo and talk to this schmo on the field. He was there 4 days ago. They're just showing it to you now.
Yeah.
So Tuesday rolls around, 8 p.m. We get a text, McNabb can't do it. Something popped up, yada, yada. Can you do Wednesday? Well, okay. So we said, all right, we'll agree to that.
More accommodation.
Well, guess what? Ever since we sent our agreement email back, nothing. No response from McNabb's camp at all. So here you go, people. You're in for a bit of a ride on this show. Hopefully maybe McNabb can make another fourth quarter comeback as he tended to do. We can depend on that. Or otherwise, heads will roll. So we'll see what happens. But, in the meantime, Tony, we can't let this derail us from our show. We got a lot to get to.
We're true professionals
some business
here.
Up top. Yep. So let's get right into first sponsorship. We got a new sponsorship on board.
Yeah.
So right now I'm going to do an ad read for our newest sponsor, just signed on today, our good friends at Post-it Notes. Are you constantly forgetting appointments and other things you have to do? Well, have you heard of Post-it Notes, a-hole?
Yeah. Like, let's say, hypothetically, you're supposed to record an interview at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. How are you going to remember it if you don't write it down, a-hole?
Post-it Notes. Stop being a total disappointment to everyone around you. Post-it Notes. Available literally anywhere.
And disclaimer, any person this seems like it refers to is purely coincidental.
All right, there you go. Well, lots to get to, Tony. So let's not waste any more time and get right into our top story.
Top story.
All right, first out the gate, obviously the big story, major crisis brewing in Dallas. Yeah, the Cowboys, they beat the Bucs in the wild card round, but unfortunately the win was overshadowed by the record poor play from Cowboys kicker and soon-to-be free agent Brett Maher, who missed a record 4 extra points and is surprisingly still alive. But
Crazy.
Tony, people, they're putting a lot of blame on Maher here, but he is not the one they should be blaming. Isn't that right, Tony?
Of course. The person they should blame is clearly Dak Prescott. If he got the ball in the end zone more during the regular season, then Brett Maher would have gotten to practice more extra points. In Week 18, because Dak was so indescribably shitty, Maher only got to practice one measly extra point. So it's pretty clear why he was rusty for the playoffs.
Terrific analysis there, Tony. And, now the Cowboys are coming out and, they're all being so supportive of this Maher guy.
Are you kidding?
Dak's saying, oh, it's okay. I played like the week before, too. That was his exact quote. And, John Fossil, the special teams coach, he comes out and he says, oh, well, the Maher had the yips. This just shows you how soft and pathetic and kumbaya this league has become. Isn't that right?
People forget this, but in the 1970s, when kickers would miss even one extra point, the entire team would take him behind the stadium after the game and beat the living piss out of him. People think the NFL introduced the 2-point conversion to increase scoring? No. It was actually to lower the assault rate on kickers.
Yep.
And now look at how bad kickers are. A clear case of causing an effect.
So well said, Tony. And, we got to get to another story here involving Dallas. Cowboys fans, they're always bitching and moaning about something, right?
That's all they do.
Dez didn't catch the ball. He did.
Yeah, exactly. Yada, 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, now they're angry because the Cowboys have to play a short week versus the 49ers, because the 49ers wrapped their game against Seattle on Saturday night, Cowboys against Tampa on Monday night.
That's the schedule.
Different. Yeah, exactly. Tony, again here, to me, this is just more of the softness of the NFL, wanting it to be some, cushy lounge. And, more so overall, the weakling world we've created. You got people every day complaining, they want their 4-day work weeks. Oh, they want you to open the window when the gas stove is on. Isn't this just crazy talk, Tony?
Absolutely. It's shameful that the Cowboys are even complaining about this.
Yep.
It's the playoffs. Shouldn't the playoffs be harder than the regular season? Wouldn't that make more sense?
Yep.
Personally, I would like to see teams get no days off or even have to play double headers. That would be a truer test of strength and endurance.
Terrific point, Tony. And, just as a quick aside here, something I have to mention. The biased media is at it once again doing a terrible job. After that Jaguars win versus the Chargers, I didn't hear one of those talking heads, not a single one, credit the Eagles. The Jags, you look at it, the Jags have our old coach, 20 of the same staff members, including the great Jim Bob Cooter. They even stole our color of uniform. This is the
disgraceful.
Eagles. It's pathetic.
People always say the biggest thing you can achieve in sports is a dynasty. No, it's an empire. And right now, if you look at it, the Eagles have not one, but 2 teams in the playoffs, holdings in 2 conferences. Total empire domination.
Absolutely. And while we're discussing this Jags-Chargers game, which I can't believe we're actually discussing, I literally thought we'd have no reason to talk about it, let alone watch it.
I can't believe the words are coming out of your mouth right now.
Well, anyway, these sports shows, blame it on these sports shows, because, they've been going back and forth, debating all week, back and forth as to whether Chargers coach Brandon Staley should keep his job after blowing that 27-0 lead. And, Tony, the people calling for Staley to lose his job over this, they're totally missing the point, aren't they? Because, him being terrible at his job is what makes the Chargers just even remotely interesting. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. We all know great head coaches give their team an identity. The Chargers have a clear identity, blowing big leads in important games. That's Brandon Staley's mark.
Yep.
Every great coach has a mark. Bill Parcells, run the ball. Buddy Ryan, tough as nails defense.
Yep.
Bill Belichick, recording the other team's practices. From my view, Brandon Staley's coaching the right way and really making a name for himself.
Great point, Tony. And that leads us to the end of this segment. So before we go to the FUSCO Satellite Network, I guess we need to first make sure if anybody's there Let's check in with producer Jay. Oh, no. Did you
Is
hear
McNabb
anything?
in there?
What?
Bring him in.
No one's on the line.
Did you email
confirm?
him again? Write him? Text him?
Yes. Always.
Well,
Always.
all right.
All right.
Then
Bring in the backup
Go
guest.
to the backup guest. Who you got lined up? Backup guest.
There's no backup.
We've told you this 40 times. You
Yeah.
should have 6 backup guests. Go. What's Kevin Kolb doing? Quarterbacks have backup
where's
quarterbacks.
Coy Detmer?
You should have a backup
Yeah.
guest. Kevin Kolb, where's he?
Just go down the list.
Hello?
Hello.
He's just sitting
You
there. Look at him. He's lifeless.
He's sulking.
This is going nowhere. All right, Tony. Well, we got 10 minutes here to fill. And, I got to say, Tony, for a long time, we've given Donovan McNabb his flowers, haven't we?
Yeah, we always do every week.
Yeah, we put him. He's at the front of every
beginning of
show.
the show.
His image at the front of every show. That
Yeah.
photo. I'm wearing his uniform right now, and
You are. We're
Frank-
always paying homage.
yeah, we are. And frankly, the fact that he's kind of ghosted us like this, I guess that's what they say, ghosted us. I don't know how
Never
well that
again.
sits with me.
Yup.
When you look back, Tony, maybe we shouldn't be so surprised, because when we look back at all the times we needed to rely on Donovan McNabb to do anything, he was
throws
totally
up.
unreliable. He was throwing up in the locker
exactly.
room, throwing up on the field right during the Super Bowl. That should have been sign number 1 right there, shouldn't it have
Yeah,
been?
exactly, Paulie. He's probably not coming on because he's too busy throwing up right now because he's so nervous.
Yeah, maybe that's what's going on. He's probably head in a toilet bowl right now.
Yeah.
You go back and this is what we should say about that Super Bowl. You'd think if you were going to be a quarterback, the first thing you should think about is not throwing up during the Super Bowl, right?
First thing you do in practice, guys, don't throw up. Yup.
He signed that deal in the early 2000s with Campbell's Chunky Soup. And when he signed that deal, what was the first thing we said? We said, that looks like throw up, right? Didn't we say that?
Exactly.
And,
That's the first thing we said.
Yeah, so he starts doing this. Well, then he gets to the Super Bowl, and what comes out of his mouth? Now, people said it could be throw up, could be Campbell's Chunky Soup. Hard to tell the difference, right?
Yeah,
You look at
exactly.
that beef stroganoff they sell. Part of me, sometimes I'll be eating it and I'll look down and I'll be like, wait, did I microwave this or did I just throw up in my soup bowl? It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
And you look,
it's true.
You look at how these quarterbacks, they manage themselves. That was probably the biggest miss of his career, and we should have dinged him for that, shouldn't we?
Exactly right. And guess what? You know who didn't throw up? Nick Foles.
That's true. Nick Foles, every time he cancels on us, he at least has
Class.
the decency to write us, a couple days earlier.
So
We're like,
sorry,
he
Paulie
says,
and
so
Tony.
sorry, I'm injured.
Yup.
I'm on my back. I can't move. I'm too busy trying to save the Colts franchise.
Exactly. My sternum's broken.
But, as far as I'm being told, there's no word from Donovan McNabb.
It's just literally shameful.
Tony, for years, 23 years straight, we've had Donovan McNabb at number 1 on our all-time QB list. Also now in a tie with Nick Foles. But,
Yep.
I'm starting to think that maybe we should reconsider that. Maybe
Yep.
drop
Time
him
to drop
down.
him down. Yeah, exactly. Can we pull up our graphic of our
Yeah, look
greatest
at that.
QBs
That's
of
the
all
graphic
time?
right there. Number 1, you got Nick Foles tied with Donovan McNabb.
Yep.
Right ahead of Ron Jaworski, Randall Cunningham, and of course Joe Montana. Respect.
You got to have him. Respect. Yeah,
of course. But
yeah.
this when we calculated this list, one of the things that we took into account was dependability.
Yeah, showing
reliability,
up. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What?
We have to adjust the list now.
Yeah, so why
He's
don't
not
you-
clutch.
Let's just go in. Hold on. Let's just take a moment here, Tony. You're good with the calculations. Let's just recalculate here. You'd have to lower dependability, right?
Yep.
Also, communication, right? Responding to text messages that people send you before a
Great
show.
call, Paulie.
You know-
Exactly.
Gotta lower accuracy for not knowing the time.
Yep.
Clutchness for just totally not showing up in the moment.
Yep.
And unfortunately, greatness too.
Yep.
Reduce that one from 99 to 12 because he still did get to a Super Bowl,
Yeah. So, taking those numbers into account, here are the new results.
What? You got
I just
it?
updated. Yep. Just updated the list.
Okay.
Donovan McNabb has just tumbled from the number one all-time QB spot all the way down to number 1,299.
Whoa, that is just a turn of events there.
Precipitous drop there, Paulie.
Yeah.
And he is now sandwiched between Jay Cutler and Rex Grossman.
Wow. Just an absolute turn of events here, Tony. And, maybe we should just wrap it here because, we got better things to do than sit around and wait.
Totally.
Yeah. Clearly, Donovan McNabb thinks he has better things to do, too. Well, he'll learn.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised, people, if you don't see Donovan McNabb on TV ever again.
And don't be surprised if the next time you see Donovan McNabb, he's got 6 broken legs.
Yeah.
And he's behind the stadium getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, he'll learn. This is not how you do. This is not how you do broadcasting, people. Let this be a lesson to all you kids out there. You make an appointment, you say you're going to be on a show, you show up. So
you write your post-it note, and then you show up.
Yeah, now Donovan McNabb, we can put him out to broadcasting pasture with other greats such as George Seifert and Dennis Miller. Goodbye. You're never going to work in sports again.
Guess what, McNabb? Off the show.
Yeah, you're off broadcasting forever for this.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to remember this forever. So, you're probably throwing up. He's probably throwing up right now as he's listening to this, Tony.
Yeah, exactly. He probably has stress colitis right now.
Yeah, he's probably knee-deep in the pile of throw-up and Campbell's beef stroganoff. That's where
exactly. We know what that is,
Yeah, if you can tell the difference. Anyway, all right. You know what? Let's just wrap it here. We're not going to let Donovan McNabb not showing up ruin what was otherwise a terrific show. So we do want to thank our sponsor.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on.
Are you kidding me, Producer Jay?
You can't even book a backup guest. What, are you going to tell us how to do our job?
Corrections.
What?
You kept calling the Cowboys kicker Brett Maher.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
No, it's not pronounced Maher. It's pronounced Maher.
Right. Like, I'm going to murder you after the show.
Yeah. I can't wait to pronounce you dead.
Good one, Tony.
Got him.
Great one.
Yeah.
Got him.
Second.
No, what?
You said Dak should be blamed for Brett Maher missing extra points.
Yeah. If Dak scored more during the season, Brett Maher would have gotten more practice.
Exactly.
In the regular season, Brett Maher had 53 extra point attempts. That was tied for the most in the league.
Oh, yeah? Well, here's an extra point. Shut up.
Yeah. After the show, I'm going to make 53 attempts to hit you with my car.
Great one, Tony. Got him.
Yeah, he's done.
Right,
That's it. We're done.
Last one. Tony, you said earlier, quote, a clear case of causing an effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not
right.
The idiom. It's a clear case of cause and effect.
Oh, yeah? Well, if anyone's an idiom, it's you.
Yeah. You're the biggest idiom that I know.
Yeah, got him,
we
Tony.
got him, Paulie. Look at him, Paulie. He has no response for that. Yeah. Nope, he's sad. Yeah. He's sulking, Paulie.
I wish
he's
he
over
would pull
there.
a McNabb and not show up next week either,
He's going to be in the toilet soon.
Whoa. I just got an email came through, Tony, from Nick Foles. I've been listening to the show. Don't worry, I'll be there next week. That's from Nick Foles.
A real professional.
That's how a real Eagles QB comes through. Take
the
note,
best
Donovan
of all
McNabb.
time.
Anyway, we can't wait for that. So, hey, in the meantime, don't forget, follow us on all our major platforms, TikTok, Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to the audio on Fox Sports Radio. Then watch it on YouTube. Get that double entertainment. And, Tony, despite all the factors today, all the variables, great job as always. True professional.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week. Bye.
See ya.